Good day, guys. How are we all doing today? I hope we're all good. So, again, I thought let me come with a quick recap. I just want to talk about a few things here, mainly the importance of session timing, what to wait for, what you want to see, risk to reward ratio, your trade management, and eventually the result. So, again, usually in the mornings, we trade German 40. And we usually try to trade at the London session open. So I'm just going to highlight what you need to look for, right? So the main thing, we always try to go to the daily to try and figure out the trend. So the first thing you want to look at is your daily time frame. And if we zoom in on the daily, you'll see that we didn't have a clean directional bias here because when we opened, I think price was somewhere here. So if you look to your left, you will notice that, of course, we're trading above the 13, which can give us the idea that we can potentially push up. And we had also taken out this liquidity here on this particular day. But then on the previous day, we don't have a bullish day to say that we are actually bullish. And we can also not say we are in a bearish order flow because price is still literally above the 13 EMA. So here's the thing. If your daily chart is not clear, your next best time frame has to be the H1. H1 is to be your next best time frame. So what do you look for on H1? On H1, you are now looking for H1 to give you a directional bias. That's what you're looking for. So if we zoom into H1, I'm just going to remove this vertical line for now. So this is what happened prior to the London session open. So we had a bit of a confusion today as well. We were not sure whether the London session had moved to 9 a.m. GMT plus 2 or it was still at 10 a.m. GMT plus 2. So when we came to the charts, we came around 9 a.m. GMT plus 2. So we're looking at this particular order block here. And at that moment, price was trading above the 18 EMA. So we're looking for a potential of price bouncing off this order block and actually pushing back towards yesterday's high, or which is Friday's high in this instance, as a take profit. Right? This was the first initial plan. But what we realize now is price then closed with excuse me, with this particular pin bar, which took out these equal highs here. So this started to change our bias now. So again, if you want to buy, you want to wait for your price to close above the 13 on M15 now. And you also, if you want to sell, you want to wait for price to close below the M15 13 EMA as well. So after this particular candle closed, we're now getting into the London Open, which was 10 a.m. GMT plus 2. So at the close of the candle, we come to H1. We see what's happening on H1. So in H1, you would have noticed that we actually got a close below the 13. And sorry, on M15, we got the close below the 13, which was right on the H1 order block. That's the first thing. The second thing is that H1 had taken out the equal highs. Remember that pin bar on H1 is taken out the equal highs. So that qualifies as a liquidity sweep. We've got a close below the 13, which means this buy, which we were seeing here prior to the London Open, now became invalid and we were now looking for a sell setup. But based on how we trade, we did not have any entry criteria on the M15. So soon as we got this close and this price started to push down, we then jumped to our M3. So before we go to M3, if we are selling, you need to know where your price is going to next. Remember, you're not just selling or buying randomly. You need to know where your price is going. So on this particular price action, remember on the buys, we're aiming for Friday's high. And for the sells, we have to aim for Friday's lows. We just try to keep it as simple as that because here we've got liquidity on Friday's highs, we've got liquidity on Friday's lows. So now jumping to your entry time frame, which for me is the 3 minute. Okay, so what am I waiting for on the 3 minute? Remember, M15 on this first impulsive move did not give me any entry at all. My trading edge did not appear here. So I'm just going to mark this was the 10 a.m. candle, London open. M15 it closed below the 13. So here M15, M3 price was already trading below the 13. So we're just watching what it does. So we broke some structures here. Excuse me. We broke some structures here, broke some structures here with this nice impulsive move down. Then what happened now is we were stalking the price. We got a nice retracement into the 13 EMA. This is where your trigger finger is supposed to start itching. So what are you waiting for? You're waiting for price to give you something familiar. There is nothing familiar here. Don't chase price here because if you're selling here, or selling here, your stop loss simply is to come outside the range because you don't know how deep the retracement is going to be, right? So you just want to try and be patient and wait for something familiar. So something familiar here, if we zoom in, what's familiar here? We've got today's open price. Today's open price, that's number one. So we've got the open price. Number two, we've got this nice pin bar here. I'm just going to write pin. Number three, we've got a bearish engulfing here. I'm just going to say engulf. Number four, we've got the 13 EMA right here as well. So now we've got four confluences lining up right on a point of interest. And we already know that our H1 gave us a pin bar at the top here. We took out equal highs. That's a liquidity sweep. Price also closed below the 13 EMA on M15, which is now giving us a bit of a narration to work with, which is now a short-term sell bias. Since our daily is still above the 13, the sell is short-term. So after we've seen all these confluences line up, you see your TDI, you also check it is trading below the 50 static, both the yellow baseline and the signal line, which actually signals a high probability of a sell. So the next thing you want to do is you want to enter a sell. You want to put your stop loss above this range. Then you want to map out 1:2 or 1:3 or just aim for yesterday's low as you take profit. That's all you need to be successful. So two things will happen. Either the price from here, it will push up, take you out, or it will push towards your direction and actually hit your TP. So if we jump to trading view, this is the setup. So initially you are going to see the buy, which we actually thought might have happened because this session timing confused us, like I said earlier. So this also shows you the importance of session timing. So if this was the new London Open, you would have noticed that we had equal lows, liquidity sweep, and price started to expand up, and we are looking for this particular buy. But then we were wrong on here, so we ended up canceling our trade at break even, and we waited for the next best setup to appear. We did not chase this because we were not sure what price wanted to do, but we definitely got into this because something familiar actually showed up. So we got our pin bar, we got a bearish engulfing right on the 13 EMA on our entry time frame. And the only thing we could do is execute, map out our risk to reward. This was Friday's lows, this red line. You can see price actually went over and beyond. And this would have been a clean setup on German 40. And one other thing, if your price moves halfway towards your target, you want to move your stop loss from here to here, and you want to scale out something here and leave a runner or one other position or a few positions still running. So this was today's London session trade. I thought, let me quickly share with you guys. This will show you the importance of knowing the exact open price of your session. I believe in USA, we've got the daylight savings time in effect. So our indicator here, if you check even on EU, you see it shows that London is now at 9, and this is where our confusion sort of came from. But apart from that, I don't think it affected anyone drastically because we were on top of the situation with planning, because we had planned what to do if price did what it did. So we had a break even, and here we were stalking, and again we planned to enter if we saw something familiar. So these are some of the things we share in our mentorship community as well, and this is also some of the stuff you learn on our 2025 day trading mastery course. So if you want to trade with us in our live sessions, get in touch. I'll leave the link in the description. If you want the course, which comes with a free mentorship for a month, you can also just follow the link, which will take you straight into the paid mentorship community. Then you can just advise what you need between the mentorship and the course. So I don't think there's anything to add here except maybe to show you guys the result. Okay, March 10. All right, I just did like a video of the running trade, so I'll just play it here. Then I'll try to mute. Okay, so let's pause here. So right at the top, I want you to notice that there is that trade I mentioned. We entered a buy, anticipating price to push up, but we already planned a break even because we realized that we might have entered before the actual London session opened, right? So we had planned already to exit this. So we had a break even trade here. We didn't have any loss. If anybody had a loss, it was very tiny. We waited for the impulsive move to drop. This is unfortunately the M1. I cannot show you M3 here, but then the M3 showed us a pattern here and we entered with our stop loss here. Price moved towards halfway. We moved our stop loss to break even. And you can see, I think we collected a clean 100 points. If not clean, it was almost 100 points on this particular trade, even more because price continued to drop a little bit more. So that was the actual entry which we took. And you can see this was me just explaining to the guys in the mentorship group on the London session open, which is this vertical red line. And you can see me pointing out the arrow of where we're supposed to enter, right on the 13 EMA retest with the pin bar and the bearish engulfing candle. And yeah, that was it. That was the trade. So it's all about looking for something familiar and just executing it day in, day out. Sometimes it will play out, sometimes it won't. But the main thing is showing up. If your trading system has been tried and tested, you definitely end your week or end your month net positive. So we executed this trade on a 5K prop account. Right, and we entered with the 0.50. First trade was a break even, and this was the second trade. We took slightly above 1% on this particular setup, and we actually called it a day. So that was it for London session. New York session, we will come in and see what the charts show. If we have something familiar, we'll execute. But if there's nothing, remember it's a Monday. So the markets could be slow. We might not trade since we have already taken a winner here. But if we do see something familiar, then we are definitely going to execute a trade. So this is it from me today, guys. If you watched until the end, thank you so much. Please do like the video if you're enjoying this content, or if it's making sense to you, please hit that subscribe button. We've realized most of you guys just watch, you don't subscribe. But if you find value in these videos, please do subscribe. Share your views also. Do you trade German 40? What do you trade at London session? Do you trade London session at all? Or do you only trade New York? And what's on your watch list for this particular week? I know we have core CPI, we've got PPI in the next coming days, I think Wednesday and Thursday. So we're expecting some good moves. So let me know, do you only trade fundamentals? Do you trade technicals? What do you trade? Let me know in the comment section. And if you watched until the end, thank you so much for joining. I'll just share another video which I think you might like in line with how I trade. It will be somewhere right here on the screen at the end of this video. And if you want to join the mentorship or get the course, just follow the link which will take you straight into the paid group. And let's catch up there. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good trading.